Clint Eastwood, iconic actor and director, rose from humble beginnings to Hollywood's peak. Behind his steely gaze and screen presence lies a life of hardship, from a childhood of frequent moves to early career struggles. Eastwood's journey wasn't easy. He endured anxiety attacks, a plane crash, and his father's heartbreaking loss. Yet amid these challenges, he built a legacy as one of cinema's most celebrated figures. How much did Clint Eastwood's turbulent past shape the legend he became? Watch till the end to uncover this untold story. Clint Eastwood was born in May 1930 at St. Francis Hospital in San Francisco, surprising nurses with his 13-pound birth weight, earning him the nickname Samson. His parents, Clint Sr. and Ruth Runner, had rich ancestry from England, Scotland, the Netherlands, Germany, and Ireland, with an ancestor on the Mayflower. Later, the family grew with the addition of a younger sister, Jean Bernhard. During the 1930s, Clint's father struggled to keep steady work, trying jobs as a salesman and even a detective in San Francisco. This period saw the Eastwoods constantly moving, but they finally settled in affluent Piedmont, California in 1940. At this time, the Eastwoods lived comfortably, far from poverty, with their own pool and country club membership. However, Clint wasn't exactly a model student. He struggled academically at Piedmont Junior High, needing summer school to catch up with his classmates. Clint's rebellious streak peaked at Piedmont High, where he was quickly expelled for writing an obscene message on the scoreboard. Although teachers recognized his talent, Clint wasn't keen on school games. He preferred fast cars, girls, and honing skills like tennis and golf. Despite basketball potential, he favored solo activities. He became a skilled mechanic, maintained aircraft, and practiced piano until his fingers bled. After, Clint's future was uncertain post-high school. Records are incomplete, and friends like Fritz Manners think he left to live life elsewhere. When his dad moved to Seattle in early '49, Clint stayed with his friend Harry Pendleton in Oakland. Fate smiled on him with a Malibu party invite where he met director Howard Hawks, a life-changing encounter. Before diving into Hollywood, he worked real jobs, logging in Oregon, lifeguarding after Red Cross certification, and playing piano in an Oakland bar. Clint's life took a wild turn. Was it talent, luck, or fate guiding his journey? Stay tuned. Things are about to intensify. During the Korean War, Clint was drafted in '51 but assigned as a swim instructor at Fort Ord, California. This job seemed safe, but fate had other plans for Clint. On September 30th, 1951, his return flight from Seattle proved nearly fatal. Bad weather hit first, then things got worse. The plane's rear door suddenly opened. Clint made a quick fix, but then radio and oxygen systems failed. What followed was nightmarish. Out of fuel in fog off California's coast, the pilot had to attempt an emergency landing. Sharks posed a real threat as Clint and the pilot inflated lifeboats and desperately paddled to shore. The sea was relentless. Waves capsized Clint's boat, forcing him to swim 2 kilometers to land, though accounts vary. In this dire situation, Clint's swimming instructor skills proved crucial for his survival. Disoriented, he fought hallucinations in bioluminescent waters, finally reaching shore exhausted and in shock. Incredibly, he reunited with the pilot, who also survived. This trauma gave Clint physical and mental toughness, later used in his role as Frank Morris in Escape from Alcatraz, portraying a prisoner escaping across San Francisco Bay. This experience lent authenticity and credibility to his on-screen character. Though military life wasn't just work, Clint boosted his $67 monthly pay at a sugar company. He also dated an officer's daughter. These connections opened doors in his personal and professional life. Among his military buddies were folks like Richard Long and Martin Milner, who later became TV stars. Clint's service was a time of challenges, but also of relationship growth and personal development. In the late 70s and early 80s, Clint Eastwood left westerns behind, donned a police badge, and hit the city streets. This era birthed the iconic Dirty Harry, a tough San Francisco detective who'd bend rules to catch criminals. The theme of a law-protected rebel continued in films like Thunderbolt and Lightfoot and The Enforcer, blurring lines between morality and law. Eastwood also explored comedy in the Any Which Way series, starring alongside an orangutan named Clyde. This period peaked with Escape from Alcatraz, where Eastwood showed his acting range beyond traditional hero roles, portraying a desperate prisoner with depth and conviction. During the filming of The Eiger Sanction into '75, a tragic incident occurred. David Knowles, an expert climber and stuntman with fellow climber Mike Hoover, needed to shoot some climbing scenes. Though they got the footage, what followed was catastrophic. A sudden rock slide sent a boulder hurtling towards the men on the cliff. Mike Hoover suffered serious injuries, while David Knowles tragically lost his life. Eerily, this horrific event mirrored a scene the crew had filmed just days before. One of the surviving climbers described the shock. "We flew to the same spot, and there was the scene we'd been faking for 2 days. It was incredible. Fantasy and reality collided head-on." This event deeply affected Clint Eastwood, who felt responsible for his colleague's death and was overcome with grief. He considered quitting, but his film team, understanding the risks, convinced him to continue. They argued finishing the film would best honor David Knowles' memory and dedication. This way, Eastwood and his team found strength to carry on despite the tragedy. The early 90s saw a shift in the characters Clint Eastwood portrayed. His roles weren't just tough guys, but carried personal struggles. In Firefox, he played a troubled pilot. In Tightrope, a cop hunted by a killer. Eastwood's characters faced not just external foes, but their inner demons. This continued in The Rookie and White Hunter Black Heart, exploring obsession's toll. Unforgiven marked the pinnacle of this era. Eastwood returned to his Western roots in it. He portrays a tormented ex-outlaw coming to terms with his violent past. In the new millennium, Eastwood's roles shifted to more sullen and complex characters. In Space Cowboys, he plays an aging astronaut finally embarking on a long-awaited space flight. Bloodwork sees him as an ex-profiler, hindered by health issues while hunting a killer. His portrayal of complex characters peaked in Million Dollar Baby as a reluctant boxing coach and Gran Torino as a racist vet finding unexpected redemption. His latest, Cry Macho, continues his grumpy old man role, now as a ragged rider in rural Mexico. These later roles reflect deeper psychological aspects, showcasing Eastwood's ability to portray multifaceted characters. Clint Eastwood's personal life is as dramatic as the films he's directed. His 1953 marriage to Maggie Johnson marked his pursuit of a stable family life. Though initially hesitant to settle down, he decided to tie the knot. But after a brief period of domestic bliss, Clint began to feel restless and, soon, extramarital affairs became a recurring theme in his life. The first major shock was his daughter Laura Mary's birth from a secret relationship, given up for adoption without his knowledge. A few years later, another affair resulted in the birth of his daughter Kimberly. Despite Maggie's awareness of Clint's escapades, they stayed together and had their own children, Kyle and Allison. However, the cracks in their relationship continued to deepen. In '79, rumors of Clint's romance with actress Sondra Locke spread, eventually leading to their split. These affairs and their fallout became more than just tabloid fodder. Clint's complex relationship with his daughter Kimber was fraught with conflicting emotions. At times, she spoke of a strong bond with her father, at others of neglect and frustration. She even wished to be closer to him. The story of his second daughter Laura, adopted as a baby and finding her biological father in the '90s through a private detective, adds another layer of complexity. Though Clint accepted her, it's unclear if he ever tried to find her or knew about her before then. These stories reveal complex dynamics and hidden aspects of Clint's personal life that are just as enigmatic and challenging as the roles he portrayed on screen. Clint Eastwood's personal history is a tangled, dramatic tale. Romantic twists of family secrets. His 14-year affair with stuntwoman Roxanne Tunis on Rawhide's set led to daughter Kimber's birth. Eastwood later admitted he initially didn't know Kimber was his daughter. This pattern of hiding his children repeated in other relationships. In '92, Clint Eastwood wooed reporter Dina Ruiz, leading to marriage. In '96, daughter Morgan was born. This seemed a calm period, but a reality show with Dina disrupted Clint's private life. Things got messy when Dina sought comfort from Scott Fisher, while Clint dated his ex-wife, Erica. In 2015, Eastwood found new love with hostess Christine Sander. They keep their relationship private, but are known to attend social events with Eastwood's exes and kids, showing his maturity and peace in later life. In recent years, Clint Eastwood's health became a topic of speculation when he wasn't seen publicly for over 400 days. Concerns grew after his last public appearance in February 2022 at the A-Tan-DT golf tournament near his home, which he often attends. His absence from the 2023 tournament, where his son Scott competed, worried his close ones. However, these speculations were debunked last month when Eastwood made a rare public appearance at a conservation event hosted by Jane Goodall in his hometown of Carmel by the Sea. He was seen smiling, chatting with Goodall, and looking healthy. Photos of the 93-year-old Eastwood showed him in good spirits, with longer hair, a beard, and casual yet stylish attire. This moment marked his return to public life as he directed and produced the courtroom drama, Juror Number. Clint Eastwood maintains a low-fat, high-protein diet, likely influenced by his father's early death from heart disease. He passed this healthy lifestyle on to his family. Clint's son Scott, also an actor, sees his father as a fitness inspiration. Scott shared that Clint taught him to lift weights as a teen. He follows a diet focused on nutrients, not indulgence. Whether acting, directing, or enjoying nature, Clint Eastwood clearly doesn't let age define him. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.